a lot of times you just have to get out there and be brave and start small by your local churches.
Right.
You're not going to get on the Stellar Awards the first time you know what I mean?
Come on.
You have to start out with your community and, so if you start out for your church's Christmas program and sing a solo there, and then that just turn into something else, and then when another church hears you, they invite you, and then the thing just grows.
Right.
And so just as important to write your songs, yes, go to the studio, make sure that it's quality, you know, pay for it. Don't just get your friend to do it in his little garage. So, like, make sure it's a quality recording and get out there. And, of course, make sure you're cold. A lot of people make the mistake of going out there and aren't cold. They aren't really anointed. Or God might have called you to simply be a worship leader, but yet you're trying to be a traveling gospel and that's not what your anointing is. And so it's important for you to know, because if not, you're going to waste your time, God's time, and everybody else's time.
Right.
A whole lot of money, you know?
Yeah.
And so it's important to just, and the way that you know that you're called is that you have to talk to people that are in the industry, talk to people such as yourself, right enough, because you guys will know what song's going to be hot and what's not. You know what I mean? Like, just get advice from as many people as you can, and of course, talk to your leadership, your pastors.
Right.
It bears witness in their spirit that this is something that you're supposed to do, because you don't want to waste time, you know? And so that's the key thing, I think. Get out there, be good at what you do, have great quality, and seek advice and learn.
Wow. In other words, go through the process. Start. It's okay to start at your local church and grow. And as you grow and you're being obedient to God, He's going to do the elevation. Don't try to elevate yourself. Go through the process boldly. Go through it with a humble spirit and say, okay, Lord, fix me now. Like you said, if you're supposed to be doing it, you're going to know if you're supposed to be doing it or not. So I totally... Go on.
I actually had an issue once, because I'm the creative arts director at my church, like the minister of music. And so in my church, my rule is that in order for you to sing on the praise team, you have to sing in the choir for like maybe a month or so.
Right.
So I had this one person come up to me and say, well, I'd like to audition for the praise team. I'm like, okay, cool. You have to sing for the choir first. You've got every praise team member is a part of the choir.
Right.
She says, no, I don't like singing in choirs. I only like ensemble kind of thing. I was like, well, if you want to join this choir, you're going to have to serve in the way that how you have to. And that's the problem with sometimes we want the lead mic, but we don't want to go jump up in the tenor section.
Come on.
And so, that's what you have to do. If you're a singer or whatever musician, go join the choir and then work through the ranks. And then eventually that will lead to the praise team. And then eventually they start giving you solos. And eventually other churches recognize. Then you go to record, and then
right.
That's the process that we went through,
We always, me and my sister, we go sing. We always tell the people that we interact with, they be like, well, how do you do it? It's a process. And there's going to be a lot of, you're going to have to become selfless in that process. You're going to have to deny everything about you and do everything that He's telling you to do. And it starts, like you said, going to your local church and starting, singing in the choir. And then, if God says elevation, then He'll move you to elevation. But you got to be a servant. You have to have a servant's heart in this movement that's going on, kingdom building. You have to have a servant's heart. And you're so right. So you are the creative arts director.
Yes, the creative arts director. So that's like the guy that's in charge of all, like, the dance team, the mind. I don't direct them, the dance team and the mind team, but I'm just like the head over it. But I do directly direct the choir, the youth choir, and the praise team. Yeah.
Wow. That is an amazing gift and talent. You have to definitely have a spirit of God to be able to deal with so many different personalities, the fine arts department as a whole. And like you said, you might not be a dancer, but because you're put in that position, you have to have the spirit of discernment and say, okay, well, we're going to put this person over and trust that God is moving on their, man, that is a heavy mantle to carry. And, I believe, this is just my personal belief, after listening to your music and even talk to you now, you're in the right place at the right time. That's just me. And worship alone, a lot of people don't realize worship alone is a huge mantle to carry. And it's not so much holding that mic in front of everybody. It's the lifestyle that you're living that is the worship, the act of worship. And what you did, I'm glad somebody's doing it. A lot of times the churches we used to go to, they would not literally correct or say, hey, you have to go through this process to get here.
Amen.
And it's just, like I said, once again, another refreshing moment for me to hear that people, kingdom builders, are actually doing that. And they're living by that. So thank you so much for being obedient to God and doing just that act of worship, letting the person know that, hey, you got to go through this process right here before you get here.
Yeah, that's it. Definitely.
So on with the song Victory. How did that come about?
So Victory was a song that I thought I was worshiping one day and just in worship time, and then I just heard this simple chord progression. So I jumped to my piano and I just started to play the chord progression, and then the lyrics just followed shortly after.
Okay.
By the hand of the Almighty, I've been set free, healed, delivered, made complete. Now I'm walking in victory, and that's all I got. And then I was excited about it. So I left him, I went to Adrian and talked to him. Adrian, I got this song, you gotta listen to it. So I played it for him, and then he added the back part, got my walking in victory, got my joy, my peace, my strength, and my hope back. And so we did the song, like if you were to total minutes, maybe like 15 minutes.
Right.
And so we were like, man, it's only like 2 or 3 verses. Should we add more? But the Holy Spirit was like, that's enough, you know? And so it was like, you know what, this is what he gave us, let's just go with this. And so we were having a huge concert here in Bermuda called Gospel versus Cancer, where we had invited our now manager, Apostle Burl Howard, and she had brought some friends of hers, one being Fred Jerkins, and he was in the audience. And so we had written the song Victory about maybe 2 weeks before this concert. And so we was like, we had one other song to do, but then the agent said, you know what, let's not do the song, let's do Victory. So we were taking a huge risk because, you know, sing a brand new song in front of a record label and the audience doesn't know, it's a risk. Because they may not be able to flow with you. But we did Victory, and the 5-minute song turned into a 10-minute song. We were there, that was like the highlight of the night. And Fred Jerkins then approached us the next day, he was at the hotel, and he said, you know, I'm actually doing a project called that's going to help families who are dealing with cancer. I need Victory to be a part of that, and so that's where the kind of the network began. And so we flew out to Atlanta maybe 3 weeks later to a studio to record Victory, and later on he ended up making it his single, and now it's on Billboard charts, and the rest is history. And so it's just been a wonderful opportunity. Huge shout out to Apostle Burl Howard for just representing us with integrity and just making sure that assisting us with the vision and the mission that God has given us to take his music all around the world.
And she's doing that and much, much more. When we heard the song Victory, I was like, oh my goodness, this is on a whole nother level. But it touched me. And like I was telling Mr. Fred, the whole project as a whole was a healing process to me because I was grieving over the loss of my grandmother. But it's like it tackled every emotion you deal with when it comes to conflict or just in general. So I thank God for y'all being obedient and writing those lyrics and being obedient and doing something new and just that. So we thank God for that. And now we're going to go on to the song called Victory. And after that, we're going to come back and get all the social media handling and everything else. So we thank God. We thank God for that and much, much more. And so we're about to go into a break and go into the Billboard, #1 on the billboards right now, Victory by Last Call.
Family, you know who it is. It's your boy Chakray.
And it's your boy Adrian.
And we are
Last Call.
And you are listening to one of the best radio stations, L.I.F.E Radio. Now we're here to encourage you to walk into your new season, a season of freedom and a season of victory. Here it is. By the hand of the Almighty, I've been set free, healed, delivered, made complete. Now I'm walking in victory, Adrian, won't you help me sing it?
By the hand of the Almighty, I've been set free, healed, delivered, made complete. Now I'm walking in victory.
We're gonna sing that again. By the hand of the Almighty, I've been set free, healed, delivered, made complete. Now I'm walking in victory. Oh, I think you got it now. Come on, lift it up. By the hand, I've been set free. Oh, now I'm walking in victory.
Oh, said I'm walking in victory. Said I'm walking in victory. Walking in victory. Got my joy back. Oh, I'm walking in victory. Said I'm walking in victory. I'm walking in victory. Got my peace back.
By the hand of the Almighty, I've been set free, healed and delivered.
Now I'm walking in victory. By the hand, I've been set free.
Now I'm walking. Oh, said I'm walking in victory. Yes, I'm walking in victory. I'm walking in victory. I got my joy back. Hey, I'm walking in victory. I'm walking in victory. I'm walking in victory. Got my peace back.
Said I'm walking in victory. I'm walking in victory. I'm walking in victory. Get my hope back. Said I'm walking in victory. I'm walking in victory. I'm walking in victory. Get my strength.
Got my joy back. Got my peace back. Got my hope back. Got my strength back. Oh, I got my joy back. I got my peace back. I got my hope back. I got my strength back. By the hand, I've been set free. No more chains are holding me. Oh, I've been set free. Now I'm walking. Oh,
Every step I take, every move I make, I'm walking, walking, walking.
oh, got my joy back. Oh yeah,
I'm walking in victory.
oh I'm walking. Yeah, got my joy back. I got my peace.
I've got my hope, my hope.
I got my strength.
I've got my joy. I've got my peace back.
I've got my hope. I've got my strength.
And we're back.
Yes, we are back with an amazing, international, wonderful, anointed, humble. I just love the communication that they're giving us, the food. They're feeding us with some spiritual information, and I thank God for them. Last call. And the last question we're going to ask, that, and then we're going to definitely let them go on because they have a lot to do. They are very active and busy in kingdom building. And the last question is, how can we get in touch, or where can we get your music from, as far as social media and everything else?
Yes, so you can follow us everywhere at Last Call Worship. At Last Call Worship. That's Facebook, Instagram, Twitter. Our website is www.lastcallworship.com. And for any booking inquiries, you can follow and reach out to Apostle Burl Howard. And our email is burl920@aol.com. And so, yeah, that's pretty much it. We're also on YouTube, so if you just search Last Call Victory or Last Call Bermuda, you find us. If you want to purchase our album online, you can go